It's day 3 of the Amgen Tour of California, taking the rise from San Jose to Livermore today, 185.5 kilometers. Peter Sagan having won 2 days out of 2 so far and holding the overall leader's jersey. But on this occasion, a breakaway getting away fairly early on. Jeremy Fennell of New Zealand, Sebastian Salas of Canada, Pat McCarthy of USA, and Wilson Morentes of Colombia getting clear of the field.
Yes, they built themselves a maximum advantage of 8 minutes, but as they started to get towards the final climb of the day, the climb of Patterson's Pass, the main field started to chase in earnest. 2 big teams doing most of the pace-making on the front, Omega Pharma Quickstep and Liquigas Cannondale.
73 kilometers from the finish, the gap was up to 6 minutes and 50 seconds as the bunch passed through Walnut Creek, and the peloton were then distracted as the breakaway began to split. An attack by Jeremy Fennell of Bissell, who actually lives in Santa Rosa where this race began, although he is from New Zealand. He was quickly joined by Wilson Morentes of the Calder Sport Colombia team.
Yes, but with 70 kilometers to go and over 6.5 minutes advantage, they felt they had a very good crack at getting the victory. But what they didn't know was behind them, the main field were really starting to tear up the tarmac in earnest to try and pull back the race, so it would end up being a big bunch sprint on the day. But it was a long, hard chase, and it was mainly done initially by a Quick-Step team who were trying to set the race up for Tom Bonen.
So Quickstep, Omega Pharma Quickstep were driving, thinking of Tom Bone, their sprinters, but first of all, the sprinters teams had to catch up with the leaders. The leaders are sweltering between the hot sun of the day, the hottest of the week so far, with temperatures soaring up to 30 degrees Celsius. 30 kilometers out, the gap was down to 1:30. On the horizon was the climb of Patterson Pass, and it was seemingly only a matter of time before the last 2 riders were brought back into the field.
As they got towards the summit of the climb, not less than 2 kilometers to go to the top, it was all over bar the shouting. A little handshake to say, well done, we tried on this occasion, but they were very quickly back into the main field. And the main field then, all of a sudden, were really chasing in earnest, trying to set something up for the sprinters and keep it all together. But it was a tough climb at the summit of Patterson Pass and very steep.
25 kilometers to go and still on the climb itself. There's beginning to be more moves coming from the field as they were swept up, and it was under the impetus of the Garmin Barracuda team, who sensed now they could guide Heinrich Hausler, the sprinter, down to the finish and hopefully get him a win. Over the last 2 days, he's managed second.
When they got closer to the top of the climb, there was a small move going clear. Duarte from Colombia Deportes team was joined very quickly by Nicholas Roach, the former Irish national champion. They got themselves an advantage of around about 20 seconds over the main field, but the main field always controlled by Tim Duggan of Team Liquigas, making sure their advantage didn't stretch too much.
16 kilometers out, and the young vision there of Fabio Duarte trying to get a result at last for the Colombia Calder Sport team. A kilometer from the top, though, they were only just ahead of the field, and out of the field was coming Alexander Genier. He would go over the top of the mountain in 3rd place. But at least there will be a new leader in the King of the Mountains today, as Sebastian Salas would pull on that jersey at the end of the stage.
At the top of the climb, it was only an 18-second advantage for the 2 leaders, and then it was an all-out charge down towards the finish line. Liquigas Cannondale, with the leader on their squad, Peter Sagan, did everything they could to pull the 2 men back into the fold.
Smile on the left there of Nicholas Roach as he realized it was all futile going back into the peloton. The sprinters were still in here. The peloton was gaining size all of the time, and when they got down to 1 kilometer to go, this was to be a very, very good finish for the sprinters. Just a left turn and then a line up for the finish, and all the sprinters were there. The big question mark, Paul, was could anybody beat Peter Sagan?
Yes, they were all there. Tom Boonen was looking for the victory, but when he came up to the line, it looked as if it was going to go to Heinrich Hausler in the green jersey there in the blue helmet.
But Hausler went to the right and Sagan came on the left as we look at the picture, and Tom Boonen on the right. Peter Sagan, a perfect hand. 3 out of 3. Heinrich Hausler's had 3 out of 3 too, but all his were second places. And the first appearance on the far right of our picture of the #1 ranked rider, Tom Boonen. He would finish in 3rd place. So no change in the overall situation as we head off now to day 4, and Sagan has slightly increased his lead with the 10-second win bonus. Hausler lies 2nd at 12 seconds. Jeff Lauder is 3rd, Rodriguez 4th, Ben Jacques Mains is there as well in 5th. There's still the time trial on Thursday, but for the moment, this man, Peter Sagan, is very much in control.
A kiss from our Michelob Ultra ambassadors one more time for Peter Sagan.